Gaia. Gaia, the Mother Earth, a global symbiosis, is the most beautiful possible world, a paradise upon earth. How to reach it in practice? The task of thinking is to affect as much toward good as possible in an as important question as possible. So what would be a better subject for an intellectual hobby than making the Gaia idea more realistic and finding roads which lead toward it in practice? The birth of Gaia. During the evolution, the safest choices survived, regardless of whether they were safe because of strength, alliances, or lack of enemies. So those who allied survived better than those who didn't. This led to an evolution toward complex interconnected wholes, individuals consisting of many cells, packs, ecosystems, maybe even larger wholes. Gaia, the whole biosphere, as one complex interconnected cooperating whole, being the largest of them. Gaia is a debated thought. It is true that alliances are useful, but does it happen in practice in this big scale? And how to explain the existence of predators? Does it prove against alliances? I myself come to think of at least 3 ways in which living beings can ally despite the existence of predators: understanding, the sense of health, and predators removing breaks in the harmony. So predators would be only one side of the reality and not the whole truth about the impossibility or possibility of alliances. 1. Predators. The role of predators would be to eat away the ill ones who break against the harmony, and they would so repair the whole system toward balance and keep so the prey populations healthy and the world more paradise-like for the living. This role of predators would be partly automatic, a consequence of it being easier to catch ill prey, and partly a consequence of intentional striving for, because, cynically thought, a healthy prey population offers a sure source of food for the predators. A Gaia-like hypothesis. Thus, it might happen that the predators would be likely to eat away just the evil ones because their sense of health is lower than that of others, which could be reflected also in their ability to move and hide if the functioning of an individual and of the pack form one intertwined whole like is probable. 2. Understanding. My own experience about objective thinking tells that the human thinking ability is based on, to a very large extent, to analogies to and from the sense of sight. So most animals have the basic building blocks of thinking ability. In addition, they can discern between a healthy and a broken, where the sense of empathy and via atmospheres. So one would imagine them being capable of understanding also large-scale dangers with the help of analogies, by comparing to their own lives. This way the living beings could form Gaia, the global symbiosis, also via their own understanding. So at least if there were no artificialities and no need to handle the artificialities by the help of trained thinking, which also is easy to build up analogies to nature landscapes, in addition to the instinctual understanding. 3. The sense of health. A way in which we at least form Gaia, the global symbiosis, is the following. Humans and animals share a common gesture language, which makes it possible to communicate between species. Likewise, the basic principles of functioning are the same for humans and animals. so even very different kinds of animals can serve as models of healthy kind of life to each other. This way our own health is intertwined with the health of our whole living environment. A paradise in the beginning of time. There was a state of the world in the beginning, at the time before the artificiality is brought by humans. Then the whole biosphere was in a state of complete naturality. But what was that state of naturality like? Was it a paradise, and if it was, then why? How could one know? A paradise means happy life. It does not mean the absence of death. It might be that the paradise demands the existence of death. Since the non-paradise-like individuals have to be removed, the lost ones dropped away by the force of illnesses and predators. Suffering is not a part of a paradise. Still, there's a need for forces which guide the lost ones back to the healthy paradise-like ways of life. So feelings can be seen as forces which guide toward a paradise. The best feelings, happiness and love, bind living beings to their correct places to a paradise. In a state of complete naturality with healthy natural ways of living, the world is filled with happiness and love. So the Gaia paradise is the most victorious arrangement created by the evolution. There are all the living beings healthy and cooperating. Health gives the best functioning, and cooperation unifies all the forces to common use. But is the Gaia paradise the most victorious arrangement even nowadays? What to do with the effects of all the artificialities? The human functioning is still based on the ground created by the natural evolution. A healthy kind of life in the nature brings best functioning. This applies also to thinking ability. The changes in our living environment have been so quick and jump-like that humans haven't had the time to adapt and couldn't have adapted since the town environment doesn't offer as much and same kinds of stimuli as the nature environment. Count, for example, the number of technical kinds of details in a nature landscape and compare that to the same of a city landscape. How much better self-recognition ability and so a better ground for thinking ability the nature landscapes offer. Also the other functions of the human being long for the ground given by natural phase of living. For example, the physical fitness is crucial to the well-being of most. So the Gaia paradise is the best choice also for an academical worker when watched from the point of view of working ability. What about feelings? Do they still quite right? Feelings are always feelings about something, about things that are important to our function. For example, feelings about the importance of feelings. In other words, about the importance of to take account factors which are important to our functioning. The social feelings and compassion help us to form alliances, which is beneficial strategy when watched from the point of view of evolution, also in the modern times. A solution according to emotions is the most beneficial one, and the Gaia paradise the most victorious arrangement even in the modern world. Maybe this piece of understanding helps us to reach better living conditions and to protect nature. Written by Kaisa Hannele Tervala, Finland, European Union.